Well, hello once again, and welcome to Hold Fast Brewing. My name is Kevin Kline, the public address announcer for Drury University men's hockey. This is the Coaches Show. With me, as always, in the first segment is head coach Jeremy Law, assistant coach Cliff Cook. First games of the season, boys, and we picked up right where we left off last year, I believe. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it was not the best start, but a good start for only having about a week and a half of practices under our belt. So I was happy with our results.
Yeah, 6 practices in, it's hard to expect a lot, but coming out with 2 fairly decisive wins, can't really argue with that.
Okay, see, this is what I love about talking to the college coaches, okay, because I, as a spectator and as a kind of off-ice sort of guy, I thought we drubbed this team 6-0 on Friday, our first shutout of the season, the first game, and then 6-2 on Saturday. We outshot them in both games, 117-39. Here are the coaches saying, yeah, we could have done better. How can you say that?
We after our finish last year, I think Cookie and I both have high expectations, and the results were great, but there's definitely lots to work on, and you're not going to be playing your best hockey at the start of the season, so we know there's more to come.
But you bring something up that I talked to a couple of the players after the game, actually on Sunday, and I asked them, I said, so assess the weekend. And they said, we're right now where we were at about the middle of the season last year. They said, we've got room to go. Obviously, we got room to go, but it was a pretty strong showing in their eyes.
Well, what helps there, and we talked about it, in the first show, is we have so many returners.
Yeah.
7 new guys that are going to help us. One of those you're going to meet tonight, but having so many returners, it's easier to start a little further along than we did last year when everybody was new.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we were starting quite literally from scratch.
Yeah.
And to be fair to Central Oklahoma, J.C. DeBecke, he's a young coach. He's going to do a great job there. I made a comment to him after the game that I think he might have taken the wrong way when in the handshake I said, welcome to coaching. And that wasn't trying to put him down, just welcome to the headaches. I mean, This is the stress, the headaches. He's going to do a good job there. He's a very talented young man. But we, as Jeremy said, we have high expectations after last year. We're coming in the preseason poll. As we're recording this on Tuesday, the preseason poll will come out tomorrow. On Wednesday, we'll have an idea of where we're at. We think we'll probably still stick around that number 8 range. And again, that's nothing to be upset about by any stretch as a second-year team. So, but we definitely have high expectations for this year.
So you say there's room to improve, and we saw a lot of the same in the first 2 games that we saw last year. We saw quick out of the gate. We saw, we buried them in the first period, 3-0 lead after the first game. And then in the second game, we scored 3 goals in the third period. So we're seeing quick out of the gate, strong finish. But I think you guys and I even talked about this. We had the letdown in the second period again, and we had that often last year. Is that a factor of we start out so hard, we got to recoup, or is it just everything looks so good on the ends that the middle's going to look different?
I think it's a collection of multiple things. One, we're nowhere in game shape that we need to be right now. So I know coming out of the gates, like the energy we had with the crowd we had, I knew we were going to have a good start. And then I think we did tucker out in the second, which that'll come. Now more practices, more games, we'll get in game shape. So, but yeah, just also maybe thinking like, hey, we got this game in control, so we could take the foot off the pedal a little bit. And you never like to do that, but subconsciously, I think guys do that. So we just have to play hard the whole game, 60 minutes, and it's tough to put a complete game together. And I think that's something we strive to get out of our guys all the time.
And second periods are hard at the best of times.
Why is that?
Well, you've got the long change, first of all, because you've switched ends, so it's a tougher change to make. And so the shifts all of a sudden become longer than they were in the first period or will be in the third period. And that, really bit us, especially now when we're not fully in the conditioning that we need to be. We'll get there. We'll get there relatively quickly between, what we're doing on the ice and what Corey Roy's doing off the ice for the guys. But it's a hard, for every team, it's hard because it's, you're not right next to your defensive zone to where once the puck's out, you can get out quick. It's at the far end of the ice, and it takes a lot. And part of that is learning when we do, and this is one of the things we try to talk about, and it's still early enough in the season where it's maybe not all getting through, even though these guys know better because they've been doing it a long time at a high level. But, when we've got that sustained offensive pressure right by our bench, that's when we need to start, one at a time, start peeling off, start making those changes. Because if you're in there a long time, it's great, you're getting pressure, but you're also wearing yourself out. So if they do get, take it the other way, now we're tired back in our D zone, and we're going to be tired for a while.
So what you're talking about right now is something that I had an opportunity to talk to the guys about on Sunday. You guys in the locker room awarded Matthew Johnston, number 29, the player of the game on Friday.
Yep.
On the stat sheet, Matthew doesn't appear.
Right.
But you said it was a complete game. Yeah. I asked the boys, what's a complete game? They said, guy that gets on and off the ice in his shifts. What was it about Matthew's play on Friday that really made him stand out to you guys?
I noticed exactly what Cookie just said. He was always one who would get off the ice in the offensive zone instead of on the back check or in the D zone when it can cause a goal or a turnover. So he just did the right things. I mean, he played simple, got pucks deep, was always a high F3 if he needed to be. And does plays the game the right way.
And then it paid off on Saturday because he has a goal and an assist.
Yeah, and he's one of those guys, we talk about hard workers and all that, and I think the misconception of a hard worker is that they're going 100 miles an hour all the time. He plays a very smart game, and that was part of why we wanted to reward him on Friday is, we have 25 skaters that are 200-foot players, and that's one of the beauties of our team. You don't always get that. You've got guys on some teams that if they cross the red line going back to the D zone, it's because they forgot something in the corner. But, it's like playing beer league hockey at that point. But we've got a solid lineup of guys that play a 200-foot game. But when it's this early in the season and the conditioning's not there, and we talk about the second periods, it's hard to play that 200-foot game because you're gassed. Mm-hmm. What Matt did that he's so good at is he knows his limits, he knows his pace, he goes hard when he has to, he pulls the reins in a little bit when he needs to, so he still has consistent energy throughout the game, and he can continue to play that 200-foot game. So he was effective in all three zones, all areas of the ice. And like you said, while he didn't show up on the scoreboard, he definitely showed up on, well, I won't say on video because we don't need to get into that.
Yeah, no, we don't talk about that.
But he definitely showed up for Jeremy and I for sure.
Well, I was talking to his cousin, KT Walters, who's our captain, and he said, Matt's not a flashy player.
No.
He said, but that's his game.
Yeah.
He's just steady.
And he's a great teammate.
Yeah.
Does what he needs to do to help his teammates and help the team win, and very unselfish. So.
Very quick game on Friday evening. We only had 2 penalties. They only had 2 penalties. We're flawless on the penalty kill that night. And then on Saturday, we had 2 more penalties. They had quite a few more. We're 2 on. We go 2 for 4 on the power play, I believe. So how's that going to make you feel?
I think we're 25% through the first weekend.
Okay.
Which is not great, but it's it's a building block for sure.
Uh-huh.
Our penalty kill, which we think as great as it was last year, will be better this year. We gave up 1, and so the numbers don't look great because they didn't have a lot of opportunities and they did score the 1. So, but that number will continue to get better because we're so deep with our penalty kill right now, and yeah, it's so special teams are going to come around. I can't foresee us having the same issues. And I still don't even know what the issues were. I think it still is kind of mind-boggling to Jeremy and I why our power play was not effective last year with the amount of talent we had. We just couldn't finish.
Yeah.
We had all the tools. We just couldn't finish.
Well, talking about not being able to finish, let's credit their goaltender on Saturday evening, Cameron Pemberton, faced 57 shots, and Anmol Garcha and Luke Aston could have each had 10 points in that game. He stonewalled them guys like 4 times each. I mean, Aston, as it stands, had a 4-point night that night with assists.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he played great. We didn't bury a lot of the good quality chances we had too. So I think we could have put more in the net. But credit to him, he played a heck of a game, and like you said, he stymied us a few times.
And I'll also give credit to. And I don't know his name, the young man who played on Friday night.
Farrar.
Yeah, we jumped on him early, and we put 60-something shots on him. Yeah. Yes, he gave up 6 goals, but you can't really look at any of those as his fault. He settled down after the first period, played well. Now, their system did a good job against us, too. They kind of took away a lot of the quality shooting lanes, kind of clogged up the middle, so a lot of our shots were from outside, but he's still making the saves. He's still doing what he's supposed to do to give his team a chance. We're just we're at the moment kind of on a different plane from where UCO used to be, or where they are now. We're kind of where they used to be, which is good for us because they were one of the top teams in the country.
Weren't they national champions or runner-up something?
A couple times.
Yeah.
So we're progressing in the right direction. I think they will too. But one thing they can be excited about on their end is what they have in net, for sure.
Yeah. Well, and they have some stability now. They have a coach that's going to be there for a while. They have some returners that are going to be able to build around. Anything surprise you over the weekend, good, bad, or indifferent?
Well, I think for me is kind of exactly what I expected.
Yeah.
I felt confident with what we had returning and what we were going to bring to the table. Like we mentioned earlier, returning so many guys and only having 6 practices, it is easy to play a systematical game and still run our systems, and guys know our face-off plays, our D-zone coverage. So it was really, really simple to start out, playing games this early.
I will say, and Jeremy, I hope, can back me up on this, I don't know another season which we've worked together where game 1 we had such, and they may not have ended up in goals, but such quality face-off plays in game 1. Usually that takes a few weeks, maybe even a couple of months.
Mm-hmm.
We had some beautiful, because we did it for one day. We worked on face-offs for maybe 2. And right off the bat, it helps, again, having all those returners that know the system. And we were able to put some really, we had one at the end of a period that we hadn't even worked on. It was just our returners going, hey, you remember this from last year? And, it worked out well.
Well, let's talk about the end of the period, because I have to bring up something that I'm curious to get your reaction on. Game number 2, in the 20th minute of the third period. In the 60th minute of the game, we give up a goal. Okay, so what? Or, man, we got to play 60 minutes.
That was a kick in the gut.
Yeah, okay.
That was a kick in the gut.
Okay.
Yeah, that you never want to give up a goal in the last minute or the first minute of a period. Those really piss off a coach. But it was a lucky goal for them. A kid made a nice tip. There's no way he meant to tip that where it went, but 17 seconds kind of sucks.
Yeah, and it's tough too, because we try and tell our players not to worry about this, but we do definitely as coaches, and it's that goal differential that goes into the rankings side of things. And a 5-goal differential sounds a lot better than a 4. And so that's another reason why it's a tough one to take at that moment. And nothing that Sweeter did wrong. And kid made a nice play. He had a really nice goal earlier in the game. He's a talented player. He's a big dude. He's one of those that's probably not crossing the red line very often to go play much defense, but he's got hands and he's got a good shot.
Well, we have a lot of great hands and a lot of great shots, including 2 newcomers get on the board this weekend with Grady Sterling-Ponick getting a power play goal, and then one of the guys that we're going to talk to in the next segment here, number 25, Taylor Haggerty. You know what I thought was really cool about Haggerty's goal, and I understand that it happened on Sterling-Ponick's goal, but Daniel Beaupre, right after that goal was scored, skated immediately over to the ref and got that puck and took it over to the bench. No, it's a big moment.
Yep. Yeah. No, these guys get it. They understand. Those are, that first junior goal when you're playing juniors, first college goal. Those are big moments.
Yeah. And I thought that you're talking about 200-foot players. I thought Horiachka played an amazing defensive series this weekend as a centerman. Yeah,
that's a strong suit for him for sure.
Yeah. Well, some of the guys told me that that was a piece we were missing last year.
Yep.
So that's probably why you guys went out and got him, huh?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm thinking so.
I told Jeremy as we were watching warm-ups on Friday night, and prior to the season, I didn't know a lot about Taylor, who you're going to talk to today. I didn't know a lot, but there's 2 guys in particular I knew a lot about because I have been on them, watching them play. Jeremy, I've been telling him for years, like, when we get a chance, we have to get these 2. And it's Horiachka and it's Sterling-Ponick. And so as we're up there watching warm-ups from up above the stands, I looked at him. I literally looked at him. I go, dude, they're in our uniform. Like, they're out there. We got them. And not just them now. It's the other 5 that are just, the 7 we brought in are, it's impressive. It's hard. I'm slightly speechless that we've able to pull off what we've pulled off.
Some of our recruits, like Cookie said, KT Walters, I've been going after him for 5 years. So it put in a lot of work, and when the guys are actually here and we see them on the ice for us, it really feels good that it paid off. That we kept in touch with them, we kept pushing them to choose Drury. So happy with our recruiting class for sure.
Well, one of the things that really, and we talked about Garcha and Aston probably, both being able to get 10 points. That line was on fire this weekend. How do you choose line mates? How do you make up a line?
So I think
what goes into that?
One thing we really looked at this year was focusing on down the middle for us. So our 4 centers, we wanted to be our best 200-foot players. So we kind of started with, putting 4 guys down the middle that were going to be our centers, and then trying to complement them with the wings. So we wanted to be balanced this year. I think we really did a good job of putting really 5 lines together that are very balanced. And instead of just, maybe stacking 1 line or 2 lines, we're really balanced down the lineup. So I think that really helps.
Yeah, as we've talked about, I mean, every night we play now, there's going to be 6 guys sitting in the stands watching that would be,
starters,
top end talents on other teams,
yeah,
including ours. And so it's, as we always say, it's an easy decision in a lot of ways for us to make the lineup, because we can't really go wrong in a lot of ways. But it's also a very difficult decision because, we don't want to upset guys by not playing. But at the same time, it's college hockey. We got to put the lineup we're going to put out there, and
case in point,
and it's not personal.
Case in point, the 6 scratches on Friday's game all got to play in Saturday's game, and we win 6-0 Friday, 60 shots on goal. We win 6-2, 57 shots on goal. Really no difference. No difference.
We're deep all the way.
Yeah, you said that earlier this year, and I was like, what's that mean? Now I saw.
I remember telling Jeremy this summer when we started trying to kind of piece together what we thought the depth chart would be, not even the depth chart, but just the lines, because it's hard to even call it a depth chart. We're so balanced up and down the lineup. I looked at him at one point and I said, what are you going to do for the power play? We could have 4 units, but we only have time for 2. I don't know what you're going to do, because there's going to be 10 other guys, 11 guys sitting on the bench that could easily be top-end power play guys. So it was kind of going with the experience and then kind of piecing in some of the new guys in that too. So it's, again, great problems to have.
Yeah.
I mean, it's trust me, we're not complaining.
And to talk about balance, 8 different goal scorers this weekend for the Drury Panthers.
I think we had 10 to 12 guys get points, something like that.
Yeah.
We're going to be the type of team that when you look down at our stat sheet at the end of the year, there's going to be 10 guys that all have 30 points. Yeah, there's teams where you have 1 or 2 superstars. They'll have 60 points, and then the rest will have 20, 30. Mm-hmm. We're so balanced. It's going to be, we'll revisit this conversation. I promise you we'll have 10 guys that are all within a couple points.
Well, it's the way it ended last year. I think Aston, Walters, Davidson, and Beaupre, I think we're all separated by a goal or 2 for team lead. I mean, that's 4 guys in double digits. So, well, congratulations on the getting the first win, first weekend under the belt. We'll talk about what's coming up this weekend and the remainder of the season. But in segment number 2, we're going to meet the goaltender who had a shutout in his first game this season, the returner from last year, Jozef Kuchalso, and then one of the guys who had his first collegiate goal this past weekend, Taylor Haggerty. That's coming up in segment number 2 as we broadcast the Coach's Show from Hold Fast Brewing for Drury University Men's Hockey. Segment number 2 for the Drury University Division I Men's Hockey Coaches Show. We're at Hold Fast Brewing. We record these shows every Tuesday evening all season long. So it's not just going to be home games this year. It's going to be road games too. So you can come on down here and be a part of this live recording every Tuesday after games this year. And you can check out the schedule on the Drury University D1 Instagram or Facebook page. My name is Kevin Kline. I am the public address announcer for both D1 and D3 programs. First weekend, just this past weekend, University of Central Oklahoma in town. Friday evening, 6-0 victory for our Panthers. And then we followed that up on Saturday with a 6-2 victory. And we're going to talk to two of the outstanding players this weekend. Friday evening's number one shot blocker, goaltender Jozef Kuchalso, and then our player of the game for Saturday with his very first collegiate goal, Taylor Haggerty. Welcome to the program, boys.
Thanks for having us. Thanks, Kleiner.
Yeah, you bet. Taylor, I'm going to start with Joe, if you don't mind. You waited until the third to last game of the season last year to record your first shutout. You get one out of the box this year. What does that mean?
It's just good for the boys, good for our confidence as well. We got a couple new defensemen on the back end, so it was their first college game too, so it was important to hold it down for them, and it was just a real confidence booster for the guys, especially picking up the 0 off the first game.
So, as hockey players are wont to do, passing off the responsibility, or not the responsibility, but the credit to everybody else. How much does a goaltender play in a shutout versus how much the team should get credit?
I mean, I'll tell you, there was a couple plays where my D-men are making good defensive plays to prevent goals. Mm-hmm. So it goes a lot into it more than you might think. Sure, I get credit for the stat, right? I get the shutout next to my name, but it is actually a team. It is a team stat as well, just because a lot of the guys have to lock down defensively. Even our forwards have to be on the ball,
sure,
kind of defensively as well. And only 22 shots against as well makes it easy on me.
And how many of those actually tested you?
Well, there was a couple decent opportunities that they had. They've in the first period, especially. I thought maybe a little bit nervous off the start. First game, band, cheerleaders going crazy. It was pretty loud in there. So, but no, we settled in good, and I think it was just good to have the boys' confidence up, especially after that first game.
When a schmuck like me says tested, what am I referring to? I'm referring to a shot that maybe gave you some difficulty in saving. What makes a shot a tester?
I'd say close to the net, in tight, slot shots, anything from the house really.
What's the house?
The house, in between the two dots, in the slot in the center of the ice, kind of till above the tops of the circle, right there. So yeah, anything in that kind of general area is pretty difficult. But I think the guys did a really good job shutting down that area. We've been working on our system a lot, especially that last week there. J-Law's getting us in shape and everything, so we're doing a lot of conditioning, a lot of stuff, and it's a lot of guys learning this new system as well, because some of these guys have never played this system before, and it's just I think it's important for, like I said, it was important for us to gain that confidence, especially defensively, and kind of lock them down a little bit. I mean, we outshot them. I think you gave me the stat. What was the shot?
117 to 39.
Yeah, they only had 39 shots all weekend.
17 in the second game, 22 in the first.
Right. Yeah. So that's got to be good for our defense as well. There's
the defensive stat
exactly,
right there.
Yeah. Exactly. Right there. So it makes my job easy when we got some good guys back there.
And Chaz, you were just talking about the new guys on the team. We have 7 new recruits that have come in. Very, very skilled, very experienced players. And one of them is sitting over to your right. He scored his first collegiate goal in the second game of the season this year. Number 25 on his sweater. This is Taylor Haggerty. Welcome to the program, brother.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Yeah, it's great to see you out there. You had a goal and an assist, I think, on Saturday night, right?
Yeah, I did. We weren't the prettiest, but it's all that they went in. It's all that matters.
They're all straight lines on the score sheet, right, buddy?
That's right.
So let's see. You've got McIntosh, you've got Garcha, and Horiachka from Sherwood Park, Alberta, Canada. If we get a goaltender and another forward, we got a whole line. We got a whole team there. What is it about Sherwood Park that's producing so many Panthers?
Oh, I don't know. It must be something in the water. I think it's just a lot of guys are from Edmonton, and they talk so highly of it. And so I think when you have guys who are close, live close together, and it's easy to get guys to come down. So.
What had you heard about Drury before you moved here?
Well, my buddy Caden Slobodian, I played with him in Fernie.
Yeah, we're going to get to that.
Yeah. I heard about the program. I saw that they did really well last year. Thought it was something I wanted to be a part of. So.
Yeah, so Taylor just brought up his buddy Caden Slobodian. He wears number 12 for the Drury Panthers. He was a defenseman last year. He's back on the team this year. He played for the Fernie Ghost Riders. You were the captain of the Fernie Ghost Riders last year, had 63 points in 43 games. Yeah, I read the stat book. But they have the greatest jersey that I've ever seen. And I talked to Slobodian about this, and he's like, yeah, maybe I can get you one. Do you see me sporting a Ghost Riders jersey?
We might have to get you one.
I'll pay for it.
They're good jerseys.
It's an amazing emblem. It's like a skeleton on a ghost. It's so cool.
Yeah, it's awesome, and it stems from the Ghost Rider in the valley. If the sun's shining the right way, it shows a shadow on the mountain, and that's the logo. So it's pretty cool. It's a cool story.
Yeah, no, I wish I'd be able to show that and share that with people, but Slobodian's like a moot cricket. He can't chirp.
Yeah,
so he can't get me shirts either. I don't understand it. So let's see. Springfield, Drury. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's good. The guys are awesome. They're all good guys. It's fun. School's good, so it's going good.
As impressive as your game was on Friday and Saturday, I hope this doesn't embarrass you, but I am more impressed by what you and Ravenstein and Kozek did on Thursday evening. You guys had an opportunity to go to the women's soccer game here, and we brought some flyers that we were going to pass out to promote Friday's and Saturday's game, and at halftime, you and Kozek and Ravenstein said, where are the flyers? We want to go pass them out. And you guys actually got up and met strangers that you had never met before, and you were glad handing people and talking about you and talking about the program. Man, that meant a lot to me and my wife, because we were such huge supporters. To be able to have you guys buy in and support it and promote it like that, thank you for doing that.
Oh, yeah, community's everything. It's something I took great pride in Fernie, and
but it's not easy to do. It's not easy to go introduce yourself to a complete stranger.
No, it's quite hard, but it's practice and it's people skills. And I think if you can do that, you're going to go a long way in life, not just hockey. I think if you can be a good person and get those people skills, I think the sky's the limit. So.
Hey, Chazzer, when you get to skate out on the ice with one of those young 8-9-year-old players that are playing for the Ice Cubs and stuff, and they're the little player of the game, what's that mean to you? What's that mean to the players?
Well, I kind of remember when I was a little kid doing that exact same thing and getting out to skate with my local junior team, and there's 150 people in the crowd, whatever. But you just felt like when you're a kid, it's just such a core memory, hockey memory, especially going out and going out with the local junior team, like I said. So I just know what it's like to be in their shoes, and it's just I just want to make it special for them.
Yeah. So you guys do a great job with those young kids. It's really cool to watch. I'm going to ask you guys the same question that I asked Coach Law and Coach Cook. What was surprising about the weekend?
I was really happy with how well we played as a unit, our team.
With so few practices.
Especially with I think we were on the ice 6 times before that game.
Yeah.
So I think all those new guys settling in really well. I mean, the guys that played on Friday, because that was the game I played in. Mm-hmm. So I noticed just everyone was playing together, everyone was playing as a unit, and our talk was really positive as well. The boys were like, all right, we were up 5-0 going into the third period, and we were like, we got to get 2 more. Because we want to win by 7.
7's a magic number in ACHA hockey. Why is that?
It's for the coefficient, right? So it's for the rankings. Uh-huh. So you can win by 30 or you win by 7. It still counts for the same. But then below 7, it starts to negatively impact you. So if you win by 7, it's basically a max win, right? So you want to win each game by 7. But the boys were just we got to get 2 more. Because if we don't get 2 more, then we don't get our max win, and we don't rank up as high when those rankings come out, right? So that's
credit their goaltender, 60 shots. That ought to yield you 7 goals, well. Right?
Yeah,
they both played well, as did you, and as did Sweeter on Saturday. Yep. Taylor, what kind of surprised you, if anything?
I think I didn't really know what to expect coming in with it being my first weekend. And
how does college hockey compare to the KIJHL that you came from last year?
Well, guys are a lot bigger.
Okay.
You're playing against grown men out there. I got hit a couple times. I was like, yeah, these guys are a little more solid than the old KI guys, but the level of play was better than I was I just wasn't sure what to expect, so I was happy with the level of play. All the guys on the team everybody can play. It's nice. You can trust on guys to go out there and not have to worry about what goes on. Like, they're going to do their job. They're committed to their job. So I think just that, and so it was good. It was a good weekend.
I think you were the one that came up to me in the intermission. You were like, yeah, everyone on this team can play.
Yeah.
So
yeah, everyone can. So
and then practice today, something happened between the two of you. Are you guys on good terms?
Yeah.
I was mic'd up in practice, and he labeled me off the bucket in the second drill of practice. So
it might have been the hardest shot of my life.
Did it hit you in the dome?
Right in the head.
Yeah, it hit me right in between the eyes. So it was good. No, Cookie was more pissed than I am, I think.
But yeah,
not my brightest moment there. In
practice, do you want your players going that hard against you?
Well, it's good. It's good. I think everyone goes that hard though, and guys aren't trying to hit me in the head.
No,
right?
I understand that.
It's more so just be competitive in practice, and you want to train harder in practice than you're going to play in the game, right?
Yeah.
So you be ready to go for the weekend. It's just like each and every one of us pushing each other, right?
Yep.
Be the best we can be. So.
And we are on fire right now, as we were last year. We've got Louisville coming up this weekend. We're going to talk to Coach Cook and Coach Law about that here shortly. But, Chazzer, it's been great hanging out with you last year and getting to do it again already this year. And Taylor, I think the second time you talked to me, you called me Kleiner. So, dude, your ace is in my book, my brother. Welcome to the program.
Love it. Thanks, Kleiner.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thank
Kleiner.
you. Joe Kuchalso, number 30, our goaltender, and number 25, Taylor Haggerty, your shot blocker of the game on Friday, your player of the game on Saturday. We will come back with segment number 3, talk about the upcoming game this weekend, and then also talk about the upcoming schedule and some special things we have on the horizon for the Drury University D1 Hockey Panthers. From Holdfast Brewing, it's the Coach's Show. Brewing with the third and final segment of our Coach's Show, Drury University D1 Men's Hockey. First weekend under our belt. Oh, by the way, I'm Kevin Kline, public address announcer, and with me, head coach Jeremy Law, assistant coach Cliff Cook. And we had a great weekend, but now we're staring at another weekend, home weekend, but we've got Louisville coming to town. And they had 2 games against Northern Illinois over the weekend. They won 5-2 and 6-4. So what's that tell you about Louisville, their first year as a D1 program?
Oh, They were a Division II team last year, like you just mentioned, and I know they were a top 15 program. So we don't know a lot about them other than that, but top 20 D2 programs are really good. So we're expecting a tough test for us, and we'll just have to wait and see Friday. So
when you say that, you say, we don't know a lot about them. Sometimes you'll hear boxers say, I don't care what my opponent's bringing me. I know my game plan, and if I stick to my game plan, I will win. Is it kind of the same thing where if you stick to your system, you stick to your game plan with our talent, you got a really good possibility?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we're confident with what kind of team we have and where we're at right now, but you never want to overlook your opponent either or to be, overconfident. So we're going to play our game and kind of worry more about ourselves the way we play, and I think you still want to respect your opponent for sure.
I think there is definitely something to that because, last year we get the tougher teams and definitely in the Nationals, and we did a lot more of the video stuff and all that. I think we, to a point, became a little too concerned about what they were doing. And, obviously Minot's a great team. We knew that going in. And I think maybe we worried too much about, hey, what system are they in and what are they doing here and all that, instead of saying, let's just play our game. If it works, great. If it doesn't, they're the better team, and they were the better team last year. Now, when we start trying to change who we are to adjust to them, I think that's when anybody as coaches says, no, we want to maintain our identity and not change just because of who the opponent is. Now, there's things you're always going to tweak here and there, but when we get too focused on what they're doing and not what we're doing, then it's a problem. So I think, especially this time of year, we're trying to get our identity.
We're still getting our system in.
We're getting our systems in. We're figuring out our true identity. We have a good idea of it, but we're still figuring that out. And so these first 4 games in particular, as we're heading into the U-Mary series in a couple weeks, are massively important. I think Louisville's going to be a good test. the scores against Northern Illinois were, I don't know if they were surprising. I think I might have expected a little bit more of a point gap there, a goal differential, just because we played Northern Illinois last year and pretty well beat the brakes off of them.
Uh-huh.
So I think we were hoping for at least something similar to that. Doesn't mean anything. It could also just be a lot of nerves. Louisville moving up to D1 for the first year. That's not an easy thing to do. We had our issues early on last year with our first loss of the year early. We'll see. I expect them to, potentially be similar to UCO. I would hope so anyways, if not maybe slightly better.
Okay.
But you never know. It's hard to know. There was video up. I was able to watch a little bit of one of their games live, and now the video's gone, so I can't see it anymore. And again, nothing to do with systems, just to get an idea. What are they? We
Sure.
don't know. Just like people didn't know anything about us last year.
Right.
It's just, what do you got? So we'll find out on Friday, I guess.
Yep, we'll find out on Friday, and then again on Saturday. Friday game is at 7:05. Saturday game is at 6:05. After the Saturday game, I was telling the fans in attendance how they can go ahead and get tickets. Season tickets are still available. You're still going to get 16 games on the D1 front, and then 11 games on the D3. So how can we get our season tickets, and how can we get individual game tickets?
The best thing to do is to head to our social media, in particular our Facebook, but it's all over, and there are links posted on those pretty much every day. When I post something new about the team, I include the link. So it's easy to find. Everything's digital now, 100% online. I know that's been a little bit of a frustration for some of our returning fans. I understand it. We're all still learning how to do this, including us with the whole digital side of things. We don't have the paper tickets anymore. But at the end of the day, it just makes the process easier on the back end for all of us, and it allows us to get a better idea of what the true attendance is and things like that. So head to our social media, find the Drury Hockey Division 1 page. It's also on the D3 page as well, but they don't play for a couple weeks still, and they're out of town, I believe, that weekend too. So go find it. And the season tickets are still available. The pricing's not changed at this point because you're still getting a hell of a deal.
Yeah.
It's an inexpensive ticket for as many games as you're going to get for it, especially considering they're normally $10 seats. So until we get to the point where it kind of catches up to that, we're not going to change the price at all. And I think anybody that was there this weekend, especially Friday night, Saturday was a little slower, but Friday night was, that's what we live for.
That crowd was raucous.
Having the band there, having the cheerleaders there, the student section at the lower level was, 4 deep.
Yeah.
We were talking about that. Just going to the bench between periods was, we're having to weave and bob and all that.
That was a fun one for sure.
That was. And Saturday night's game was fun as well for different reasons. We obviously didn't have the bigger crowd, but it was Holdfast night.
It was.
And the amazing
Carol dropped the ceremonial puck.
Carol dropped the first puck. I wish she was here tonight.
Tweedle
and her dad, Sarah Tweedle and her dad, John Tweed, absolute legends of the Ozarks.
So many compliments on that.
So last year when they sang the anthem, I thought it was one of the best I'd ever heard, and they upped it this year.
Yeah.
It was spectacular.
Yeah, they're
wish,
they're pros.
And this has nothing to do with the video issues we had. I just wish we had video of it. There's a small snippet, if I can try and get it from John's wife, Patty. I'll see if I can get it from her. She posted it on Facebook. It wasn't shareable. I'm going to see if she'll send it to me so I can maybe include it in this, because it was out of this world. And now my next goal is to get Tweedle's husband, Drew, to come do a Hendrix-style version on his guitar.
That would be
that's
fantastic.
next goal. Yeah.
You're going to give this answer biased because you both love hockey. I would probably give a different answer than what you're going to. But let's talk about Saturday night. And you talked about the crowd being a little bit lower, a little bit less. I had some friends there. It was the very first hockey game they've ever seen.
Yeah.
And they said, we will be back many, many times this season. What is it about live hockey that people just need just one view, and they're hooked?
I'll start because I think it's one word: the speed.
Yeah.
You don't get the speed watching on TV. I tell people all the time, I actually don't watch a ton of hockey when I'm home, because to me, even at the NHL level, the best players in the world, it's not the same. I need to be there. The speed just doesn't come through. It's the speed. There's obviously a lot of other factors, but to me, that's it. You just don't understand, what these guys are capable of until you see it right in front of your face.
And then to go with the speed, I think like the physicality too.
Yeah.
Like the hearing the glass, hearing the boards when guys get smacked up against it. So I think, like Cookie said, the speed, the physicality, and then just like the excitement is a lot of turns in the game, like a lot of shifts in momentum, and I think that you can really see that live. So.
Yeah, I would completely agree with both the speed and the physicality. It's you just don't get it. It's like auto racing. You can watch the Indy 500 on TV.
Can't feel
when
it.
you go, you feel it.
You feel it.
Yeah, you feel it.
Yeah.
All right, Lossie, question for you, and because I don't want your reaction, but I want yours.
I don't know how I feel about this right now.
Yeah.
So
Do I need to go
some
grab
of the boys.
Do I need to go grab a beer and just take a nap? Or
Oh,
what?
no, because you're gonna have something to say. I know. Some of the boys think it would be very funny if, at the end of the season, they give me a pair of skates, and Cookie and I do the 1 minute drill and see if I could beat him.
I would love that because I'm not included, right?
You're not included.
Okay.
Let's first explain
Wait a
what the 1 minute drill is.
Okay, hang on. There's a group of the guys sitting right over here behind the camera. Why is Lozzie not involved in this? This is garbage. I know there's not a chance in hell I'm going to finish
Cookie
it.
do a Panther Pride?
No. No.
But just explain what a Panther Pride is.
I know, hang on, because I get to the first push-up and I'm not getting back up. It's not happening. I'm just going to lay there.
Well, I don't know how to skate, so I don't know what.
I think you'll still do better than me. I'm 50 pounds overweight.
We need to set this up for sure.
Oh, I hate
But
everybody
what's
right
a
now.
Panther Pride? Explain what a Panther Pride is in
It's,
practice.
something that we do for conditioning. The boys don't like it, obviously, but
I watched it and I don't like it.
J-Rod's shaking his head like he really loves it.
Three down and back, so goal line to goal line with a push-up on each end, and you got to do it in under 60 seconds. So it's I actually, when I played juniors up in BC, our coach did that, and I absolutely hated it. And so I'm like...
That's one of the beauties of being a coach now.
Exactly.
We get to do all the stuff we hated.
I remember it
Yesterday's
sucking really
practice
bad.
was a prime example of that.
Yeah, so yesterday's the Monday practice after 2 victories over the weekend, the last 15 minutes was conditioning.
Yeah.
And it was... and you guys told me that was going to be on Saturday, and you said, and it's not a punishment, it's just we need conditioning.
Yeah.
What the heck? If you guys were mad at him, what would you make him do?
More than 15 minutes, I can tell you that. 15,
That was hurting me.
And I know they suffered through it, especially since they had workouts right after.
Yeah.
But these guys will tell you, too, as much as they hate it, 15 minutes at this level is nothing.
Really?
Oh, yeah. They've done hour practices like that.
I was just watching that, just thinking, Herb Brooks, again. Again.
No, they worked hard.
They worked really
They do work hard.
They do that. We have a very, very fortunate group to coach for sure.
Yep. Well, you can watch that fortunate group to coach play real live hockey on Friday evening and Saturday evening. All games are at Brightspeed Ice Park. Friday evening, 7:05. Saturday games at 6:05. And this weekend, the Louisville Cardinals are in town. Guys, yes.
And good news for all the families not in attendance. Web Sports Radio is back.
Yeah, Steve Casson.
I never thought I'd be so happy to see Steve Casson and Web Sports Radio after the broadcast debacle that we had this weekend.
But, you
I did
about
my
it.
best. I tried. It didn't work at all.
27 of our 29 guys.
I do have to say, and I never got her name, and I apologize for this. Huge thank you to the woman from Central Oklahoma who jumped in on Saturday, got her tablet out, and started recording from their page. Now, she did it as a vertical, so it was like she was doing a TikTok or something. But at least she got something.
Got something.
And it was better than what I had, that's for sure. So,
yeah, no, Trish, my wife, is going to send her a thank you note on
Yes.
behalf of the Drury Panthers.
yes, I was very, very thankful for that.
Well, guys, congratulations on a great opening weekend.
Thank you.
We'll see you this weekend at Brightspeed Ice Park for
Yeah.
the Louisville Cardinals, and congratulations again.
Thank you.
Awesome, thanks.
That'll wrap things up at Hold Fast Brewing, the Coaches Show for Drury University D1 Hockey. Coach Jeremy Law, Coach Cliff Cook. I'm Kevin Kline, your public address announcer. We'll see you next time. Thank you.